Okay, this is Doug, of course, from Denver. Beautiful sunny day. I'm picking up not a steady cash customer, but with Lyft, what's different is compared to when I drove for my own car service. I had my own repeat business and my own customers. This is my new normal, and I can't say that it's fun or anywhere close to where my life was 4 years ago. Hello. This is my Starbucks Tokyo card. Of course, I should probably turn the camera around. Let me do that right now. I'm just kidding. Okay, your name is
Eli.
Eli.
Levi.
Levi.
Saul.
So what did it? Now, just real quick, how did you guys meet?
We met through camp, and we met him through
Being
like,
the same.
same neighborhood.
Yeah, we just kind of live around here.
And are you guys still in school?
Yeah.
Where do you go to school?
South.
South?
Yeah,
Southwest?
South.
You mean where like the wealthy homes are down?
No, like we all go to South.
Okay.
It's just like a school. It's like
Oh, south, not south.
No. Yeah.
Okay, got you. So anyway, I asked you how is life. In a couple words, how is life for you now? This is the year 2025. Do you realize that there was once a year 2000? And like Jacob, who's one of the evening managers, he's 25. He was born in 2000.
Wow. Crazy.
And I was born in 1953.
It doesn't look like it, though. You don't show a day.
I don't lack 70
No, not at all.
because I'm really 30 in my heart. See, you can be 70 with a gray beard, but you could be 30 in your psyche.
Yeah.
So the question I want to ask you, how many 70-year-olds do you know drove 1 million miles in a truck, went to Japan 5 times in 2 years, have made 3,000 one-hour film collage documentaries, and make 4 one-hour film collage documentaries a day?
I only know.
That's the answer everybody gives me.
Yeah.
So anyway, is it cool for me to show you on the front end?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, now what you can do to help me is share that with your friends. I'll put you on the front end. They don't have to watch the rest of it. And all that'll happen is when you watch the video, I'll send you a link.
Yeah.
You just click share, and you can put copy and just send it to someone.
All right. Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
that's
All right.
And if you think of anything else you want on the video, I'm going to be inside making one. Just let me know.
Okay.
So you guys are the stars of my April 19th, 2025 video. Thanks for joining and thanks for being subscribed.
Yeah.
I got triple subscribers in one.
Yeah, 3 subscribers. Subscribe to Driving to Tokyo.
Yeah. I'll see you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you. Yes, thank you. I'm holding my camera and I'm talking to my camera, and I didn't push the record button. Adam and Lou just walked in. Maybe they're working this afternoon. I think they are. That's cool. I have a nice recording. Speaking of Adam and Lou, I stayed after they closed at 10 o'clock, and I have about 3 minutes recording. I think I'm going to patch in. This is daytime hours now. And I'd like you to see me with 2 of my new best friends. Before I came here a second time, the spring of 2022, I did not know Adam and Lou. In fact, Lou is the daughter of Eric, who owns the St. Mark's with his wife, Tina. And she was born, and she's about the same age as the coffee shop. And it looks like Adam and Lou are working this afternoon. It looks like Gino's getting off. Hello, everyone out there listening, audience. This is Adam, and this is Lou.
Hello.
These are very special. I got to try to get them. These are very special people. When I was sleeping in my car 3 years ago, they were my first new best friends. And I was transparent. I told them I sleep in my car. And they just loved me for who I was. An old dude. And Adam.
Nice guy. You're nice.
They're like, if I was to have children, they would be my kids. Of course, that's Eric's daughter. She was born when about the time, pretty close when I almost said fluid. I just tell Lou that one of my best friends owns Fluid Coffee Bar, but this is St. Mark's. St. Mark's is a special place. They serve coffee and beer. What Starbucks?
Coffee and beer.
And they're open from 6:30 till 10 o'clock at night. And they have dudes like Gino that's been working here like 15 years. And Michael, 20 years. What Starbucks has people working 15 or 20 years and they serve coffee and beer? Anyway, thanks guys.
Love you.
I love these guys. They let me stay after and have. I shouldn't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it.
Don't tell the secret
No.
stuff.
I won't say anything that gets you guys in trouble.
Oh, we can't get in trouble here.
This is regular business hours. I didn't want to get them in trouble. Anyway, thank you.
Love you guys.
Love you. Specifically, the end of my Arizona City, the end of my trucking career, and the start of this whole last 4-year chapter. I'm walking right by Martin Luther King Memorial that's been here since I moved here in 1990. I just parked over here, locked up my car, and I'm walking up to the boathouse in City Park. It's just a 10-minute walk from St. Mark's Coffee House. And I'm about ready to do a live Facebook Messenger call. I decided to do something special. Most of the time I do it in my car. I used to do it in my apartment. I had my apartment for 2 years and 4 months.
From almost any point in Tokyo, you can see the Sky Tree, which stands 2,080 feet above the city. That's twice the size of the Eiffel Tower. Each level has a different theme. Right now, we're in the modern area. Let's go check out the view. Whoa! I can literally see all of Tokyo from here.
What do you call it? Destiny, whatever. Say luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And as I started looking back myself, reflecting on, I reflect a lot when I'm driving. I use driving time for meditation time a lot of times. I turn off the music and I have 5 hours just to sit and drive. And it's like unconscious competence. So when I'm on the open highway, it can be a very like Zen-like meditative experience. And you know how like sometimes you just are in the shower and something pops in or something, you just get this clarity that happens. And so I realized that this whole driving to Tokyo thing really just didn't happen October 17th when I went to Tokyo. When I saw these discs, in fact, these discs right here, I had these in my cabinet for a long, long time. I completely forgot that I had these discs. And then I thought, wow, what are these? And I looked at them and I thought, wow, these are interesting. Oh, wow, this is my whole Denver life. The last chapter there, that was 14 years ago. And I thought, wow, let me just check this out. And then I watched them, I'm making a very important point. I watched them and I went, wow. In the Barrister Building, I was doing these video collages and I was not driving a truck, but I was driving a limo during the video. Can you just introduce yourself? This is the gang at Lou,
Lou.
Adam. This is the gang here. I just met you the other night. She's been serving me beer.
Yeah. She's a gem. You know what? Allison worked here before I worked here.
She's an old timer. She was
Yeah.
going
She's
through
an
all the
old-timer.
history.
I paved the way.
Yeah.
You know,
She pretty much St. Mark's. We went through.
they call me St. Mark's. St. Mark sometimes.
Anyway, thank you for saying hello. You're live in Tokyo. I'm talking to people in Tokyo right now.
Oh, how cool.
Say hi, Tokyo.
Hi, Tokyo.
Bye.
To Lady Hokeko member.
Oh,
So now he
so
lives
you
in
have
Japan.
there's an American member there that's married to a Japanese member, and he lives there.
So that's right. Hongyoji member. Lady Hongyoji member married with American member.
Oh,
He
that's.
chapbook him.
Oh, wow, that is wonderful. Wow.
He was living in U.S., but when they got married, he moved to Japan.
Oh,
Now they have one boy.
Oh,
maybe
man,
5
what-
years old.
What a blessed life for him to come to Japan, and then he didn't know
Yeah.
that she was going to shakabuku him, and then get married and then have a child. Wow, that is
Yeah.
wow. I bet he's a happy.
Yes.
I bet he's happy. Do you know him?
Yes. I talked to him a bit.
Wow, what a lucky person.
Lucky.
But anyway, my friend, I guess thanks you for sharing. I like to know more stories about the temple, and so I guess we should get now. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? The one.
Same as yesterday.
Okay.
Only page 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Slowly.
Okay.
Today, no ring the bell.
Okay.
No, so because here, small room.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of office. はい、じゃあ始めます。南無法蓮華経。南無
ほれんげきょう。
南無
ほれんげきょう。南無ほれんげきょう。ほれんげきょう。ほれんげきょう。南無ほれんげきょう。南無ほれんげきょう。I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't have all this technology we have today, and I was coming back to the office, and I was my barrister building. I was recording every single night, and I had all these videos and DVDs, and I was like really passionate about it. And I did it for 4 years. And in fact, I was telling people during at the Hyatt Hotel that I worked at, I drive a limo in the day and I make movies at night. But my point is I completely forgot about that because I was like 14 years ago, that was another city, another chapter, another part of my life. And then it dawned on me that was like the seed. That's why when I opened up iMovie with the new technology today and the iPhone, it was like it just picked up where I left off. Is like, wow. And all that passion came back in unconscious competence and mixing really fast and doing it really fast. The point is, all that wasn't wasted time. One by one become subscribers, but still, you have to become subscribers and watch my videos. They'll know it's me. And in fact, I'm going out my back door to empty my trash in my alley exit. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be really nice in the 60s Fahrenheit today and tomorrow, but we're supposed to have a couple days of snow, but then it's going to go right back up. I'm out of shorts and I have a lot to share, but I want to start with something, probably the most significant thing, present tense, and I want to transition into talking about where I am, meaning it's March 10th, 2024. I'm living in my Mercantile Square loft, and I want to highlight living, not just taking home time for 4 days out of the month like I did for 13 years as a truck driver, both in Big Bear City, California, and ultimately about a decade in Arizona City, part of my backstory. But something significant is happening, and probably is going to happen, that may be one of the most significant things in my whole life, because it relates to my dad, who's literally, as I speak, in Arizona City, Arizona, in my parents' fourth and final house that they paid cash for, is dying. My mom, a couple days ago, sent me an email, and I'm walking actually to Whole Foods in a 6-minute walk. I'm going to be talking about this, but also turning the camera around so you can see where I live. So I'm sharing two things: where I live and a significant thing that's happening right now. It's lose track of time now. It's Sunday, and there's not a cloud in the sky. But here's what's happening. It could happen anytime, and I'm real sad about it. But I don't know. I'll talk to you as though you're a human being here. And if no one's here, no one's watching this, I'm just talking to myself. And this is a video journal, which that's probably what these videos are going to turn out to be. Matthew McConaughey, Dean Graziosi specifically talk about the value of journaling, and as it relates to what I'm doing now, what Dean talks about, Dean Graziosi, who I may sound like a broken record, is one of my virtual mentors, probably my most significant one I feel closest to, in Matthew McConaughey. But what Dean talks about is related to what I want to share. Is he says, and I agree, most people often just live their life. They just live life. They get up in the morning, have their coffee, take the bus to work or drive to work, commute to work, go to work, come home, watch TV.
Beautiful day, my friend.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
I'll take this kind of weather anytime.
You know it. They were saying earlier this week we really weren't supposed to have this nice of weather until come tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And then and I'm told that it lasts until like Wednesday, and then
We're gonna have a couple days of snow.
Yeah,
But
what,
then-
Thursday, Friday? Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, and then we're gonna have about 2 weeks of real nice weather again.
Oh yeah. But we're supposedly we're supposed to be up to 60 tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
In that, I love color. I love Denver.
Yeah. 4 seasons, best 4-season climate.
That I've lived in both Austin, Texas, and St. Petersburg, Florida. 9 years in St. Pete, 5 to 3rd year Austin.
I don't know if you know I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, I know.
You're on. I just want you to know.
Yeah, I know.
I like talking to people, and some people are conscious of. I try to be respectful.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. In fact, I like it. In that, this right here.
You mind if I?
Oh yeah. Go ahead. This right here is exactly the majority of everything as to why I love it here.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
Yeah. I'm glad you, because I have a channel called Driving to Tokyo, and one of the things I'm a retired truck driver, C9 Transportation. I drove a million miles all over the U.S.
No kidding.
And I lived in Japan. I've lived everywhere, but I lived here before I started driving a truck. I lived here 18 years, and I could go anywhere, and I'd come back here. And one of the reasons I got a loft here for 50% off.
Well, I mean, if you can't tell me,
I can tell you. No, I want to pass it on to you because it's part of why I came back here. I drove a truck 13 years and loved it, and I lived part-time in Tokyo, and I'm 70, I'm a young 70, but a buddy of mine who was one of my cab driving friends kept telling me, dude, you can have a better life, you could get a loft in a Mercantile Square loft. He knew the owners. And he was the first tenant to move in this loft, 1996, but I kept turning him down. I knew about Denver, I liked it, but I thought I was gonna retire like when I was 75.
Yeah.
And what happened is you know how things happen for a reason?
Yep.
I finally got to the point, circumstances kind of forced me to do this, to make a change.
Yeah.
But here, I'll answer your question. What this whole building and the sister building, not all the units have a discount, but you have to come in under 42,000 and it has to be available. So here's what happened with me. I was actually physically sleeping in my car because I had Social Security. I couldn't afford to have an apartment. And then I started driving for Lyft, so I had the extra money.
Yeah.
And then this apartment that I have opened up in August after I was here about a few months. Anyway, long story short, I almost didn't apply, but I thought, what the heck, I'll apply. I put my application on Friday with my taxes, all the stuff you had to turn in.
Yeah.
And on Monday, I qualified.
Oh, wow.
And it's a 50% discount. Because of this area, all the places are real expensive here.
Yeah.
But here's the real cool thing. I save about $800 a month on rent. I still pay $1,100, so it's still $1,100.
Yeah.
But what
Damn.
but
You're down here at Mercantile
yeah,
Loft.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm right across the street.
Yeah.
But here's the second real cool thing. They said after I'm in the loft, which I have, and I fulfill my first year lease, the second year lease, there's no income restrictions. So there's a double benefit. Means I get $800 off. But then with my Lyft business, if I want to make more than the 42, let's say 50 or 60, it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Wow.
So
wow.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying this to brag or boast. I'm just saying I'm so fortunate. It's good to have gratitude and humility.
Yeah.
And count your blessings.
Oh, yeah.
Because going from sleeping in my car
Yeah.
to having a place and having those two benefits is awesome.
Yeah.
So I like to pass it on. There's a lot of people that were one step from being homeless and needed to turn their life around. And so it's now frankly, there's not always lofts available.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a great location.
Well, come on, man. You're right here on Wine Coop at 16th Street
Yeah.
Mall. I mean, God, what more could you really want? I mean, there isn't.
This is, in my opinion, for a single person. I have with the money I save, I have my parking garage right here.
Yeah.
And I go in and out of the parking garage 24 hours a day. I don't have to deal with the meters here. So the 800, I invest a little bit of it, and I have parking garage here, my apartment here, and I walk everywhere. Look, I'm out in Shorts today.
Oh, wow. Hey, quick question,
Yeah.
please, if you don't mind. And to be perfectly truthfully honest with you, what I need is a blunt wrap. And they're like $2, I guess. And I'm not trying to needle you for monies if you don't have it.
Well, to tell you the truth, if I had it, I would give it to you.
No worries.
But I honestly don't carry money around.
No worries, it's cool.
Yeah.
I get it.
But you got to ask.
Yeah. But hey, man, you look really good. You sound really good.
I'm not like his typical 70-year-old.
Listen, stay young.
Yeah, it's all in your mind, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and genetics maybe.
Yeah. But I'm glad I met you this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Brad. What's your name?
My name's Eric.
Eric. Thanks for being on video too. Most people are afraid to be on video.
And your name is?
Doug.
Doug.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Have a good day, okay?
You do the same.
So I didn't mean to cut into my video time, but it's a perfect example. I walk around talking to myself on camera, and I'm extra cautious about not filming other people. because when I'm talking to myself on camera, people automatically assume I'm videotaping them because I can face the camera at me or out at others. Like I'll show you. I'll turn the camera around. That was I planted that seed back then, and all these years have gone by, and now with new technology, I just picked up where I left off, and then I realized it went back to Brazil when I went to Brazil twice in 3 months. And I went back to when I went to Morocco. You know, all these. Now I began to realize this has been happening for 44 years. And what reason I'm sharing this on this channel is not so much to talk about my story, but to help people realize that they have their own story and to be reflective on how their present time right now.
I can see the Asakusa Temple over here, the Sumida River right there, and the Rainbow Bridge in the distance. I mean, this is the most spectacular view of Tokyo you could ever imagine. Now we're headed down to the glass floor. This is gonna be a little scary. Here we go. We are so far up here. Holy cow. I have finally reached the highest observation point at 451.2 meters. Not only can I see Tokyo, I can see up to 70 kilometers in the distance. The Skytree is a must-see. You get a 360-degree view of the city, something you will never forget.
I spent or invested, whatever you want to call it, about $30,000 that I wish I had back. Because the truth is, I would have been better off to do exactly what I'm doing now. Driving for Lyft in my own car, not this one, with no car payments, rental payments. I had $400 commercial insurance, but from day one, 5 a.m. on Monday when my week started, every ride I made money. I didn't have to first make almost $400, $380 before I made money. So now, and it's been this for a year, I have to earn $380. Now it's up to me how fast I do it. Literally, if I want to take the whole entire week to do it, I can. However, to make a profit in a perfect world, I need to do 3 $150 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So by Thursday, which is today, I have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 4 days at 150, or about $600 a week. Times 4 would be $2,400 a month. Even with the $400 a week, and even though I'm now Mercantile Square Property sent my account to collections, I owe a final bill of $2,475, which is crazy. This is a property management company where my apartment had an old funky sink, old appliances I didn't even use, no counter space. The best part of my apartment actually was three things. My hot shower and my living room with my flat screen TV, my free Google TV, my tower, Netflix, and the few things I had which made it home. But it was nowhere near the size as my 3-bedroom, 2-bath Arizona house. I hear noise in the boathouse like there's a party there. So I may have to walk to a different place. Now there's actually a cherry blossom thing related to SGI I was telling Amy about. But SGI Sokogake International, at first Nichiren Buddhist organization I belong to. They just recently tore down the culture center that I was a part of, and they're building a new one. And I'm assuming you don't know what I know because I didn't know it. I practiced for 6 years. I was introduced to SGI Sokogakka Worldwide Nichiren Buddhism, headed by President Daisaka Keita, that I have a Larry King live interview with Tina Turner talking about this. She had just recently passed away in March. She'd been practicing, and there's a whole story behind the second organization I belong to, and that's the one Amy turned me on to.
Bring people to you, bring those feelings of whatever you're looking to create. It's going to bring that to other people through your videos. So just massive action is what it's all about. That's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing for the last couple months. At the end of it, 90 days total of complete action. There hasn't been a missed day. You haven't said, "Oh, I'm not going to make a video today." You've made you could easily take a day off or 2 days off and not make a video. It's just because you've done so many. I'm just saying you don't.
I mentioned Mike, and you don't know this, but I literally have done hundreds. And when I said what I'm doing because I was having the storage problem, I was more into the process. So I was literally making videos, watching the videos, and going, "Oh, this is a good video. Delete." I delete it and go on to the next one, not even worrying about if I can recreate it. I was more into, let's just delete, we'll go on to another one. We'll do another one. We'll do another one. And at the end of the day, I might have 5 videos. Maybe one of them I would send to you and maybe one to Facebook, because I knew the more I did them, I wasn't even concerned. Now, I've got to the point my videos are getting better that I want to figure out how to download to YouTube. And I want to figure out how, I've done it twice now. I've actually downloaded all my videos and my photos to my Mac computer that has 1 terabyte. And I don't know the exact number, but there's something like 1,900 videos and photos, because obviously I don't want to just keep making and deleting stuff I put my heart and soul into. But there were early videos I wasn't too concerned about it because I would do it.
Hey, dude. What's up? Do you know how far along we are in this video? I'm reclining this Kia car. Look at how far it reclines for sleeping at night, dude. I know. And this is right outside where I'm parked. Can you see out here? Yeah, it's sunny, dude. It's warm. It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I think this is the warmest day since winter, dude. What are we gonna do tonight? Well, we're gonna work when it's dark and cool. See, we don't have to run the air conditioning so much because it runs down our battery, dude. I took this down. I think I'll put it back up. I'm actually heating up here. It's actually much more cooler outside my car because my car is black, dude. Back to you. Let's go back to, this was Mike and I talking a few years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, because a lot has happened since this conversation.
And on this journey, the Buddha came across, as the Buddha tells the story, the person came across a flowing, fast-flowing, gushing river. And they saw this river and they thought to themselves, I can never cross this. How many of you have ever come up on an obstacle in your life and felt, I can't do this? Raise your hands. If you've ever felt that, you come across a challenge, you come across a block, you come across a adversity, and you just go, I can't do this.
Okay, it is Monday. Mondays, I know I've said this in a number of videos, my lift weeks start Monday morning at 5 a.m. no matter what. It's now summer. Doesn't matter, summer, winter, spring, fall, all year round. And now I've been with Lyft now since May of 2022, but I was not in my electric car. I just got another electric car after having my first one for about a year, a Kia black all-electric car. I just literally turned it in today and got an upgrade, and I just got it better. we forgot to check if it had lift stickers on the windshield and back, so I couldn't drive tonight. So that simple, and they should have put the stickers on when I picked up the car. I've had the stickers before I picked up the car, but nevertheless, I can't drive the car without stickers, so therefore I'm gonna lose tonight. And what just happened last night, 24 hours ago at 6 p.m., I did a live video call with Amy, my Nichiren Shoshu sponsor and friend. I parked right here on the corner. This is, if you hear the traffic to my left, it's because 17th is coming out of downtown, and St. Mark's Coffee House is about 20 blocks east of the state capitol in downtown. And this is a neighborhood called City Park West. And I'm intentionally, since it's a beautiful night, and I'm here to talk about what's going on now, but also I do flashbacks, because I think flashbacks and looking back at our lives, personally, I think it's helpful, which leads me into a subject of what is time, and some basic Buddhist principles. Not that I'm an expert, but as it turned out in this lifetime, age 71, unplanned, was not planned this, my driving to Tokyo. Now, if I was walking out here, believe it or not, if I was walking on the same sidewalk at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was parked around the next corner, it would be dead quiet. Every once in a while, someone would be going down the street too fast. These streets are real narrow, and this is called City Park West. Now, when I go to Starbucks in the morning, I have my laptop, and one of the things I do is I pull up the map, and I can show you exactly where I am. Now, what I miss, believe it or not, what I miss most about my loft that I was in 2 years and 4 months is my few things. My big screen TV that I was able to project anything on this phone or anything on my Mac Pro computer onto the big screen. And I was able to take this 1 terabyte phone and videotape it. For example, Apple Maps. I could show a close-up and go to Tokyo, or go to San Diego or Encinitas, and then videotape it and talk about it. Now, these neighborhoods are really nice. It's just that this is, I think, around 7 o'clock in the evening, still daylight. But this is also part of my past history. Way, way back, 35 years ago. Seems crazy, it was 35 years ago, or about that. I came to Denver with a Cadillac and my massage table. And I had grown up, and I mean really grown up, age 7 to 37, with a big chunk of my adult life, because I left home at 19, living in North County Coastal. Started out specifically working for a San Diego Gas and Electric Company as a laborer, and then I tried being a lineman. Didn't like it, didn't like the heights, and I ultimately was with SDG&E and finished my career as a mechanics helper. But I'm bringing this up because there was a lot of very significant things that happened during those 16 years. First, I was in my early 20s, and then some really important things that happened in East California, really important, that they're worth talking about. If I had a book called Driving to Tokyo, the emphasis would be, no doubt, driving. And you put the two in there, Tokyo, no doubt, because that's the most recent significant thing. Although that's fast becoming a part of what Matthew McConaughey, one of my virtual mentors who wrote the book Green Lights, which is very appropriate that he at the time he came into my life and how he came into my life was very significant and very on schedule. So Matthew, my favorite page, which it's light out here and I put my shades up in my car, and during the daytime it's very bright. So I can sit in my car and either put the shades up or have the sunlight come through, and I can do lots of things in my car that are similar but not identical to what I used to do with my loft. For example, when I go to Starbucks in the morning at 5, which I will tomorrow morning, I do set up my computer inside. I get a cup of coffee, but what I have been starting to do is set up inside and then also set up inside my car. Why? Well, Starbucks has music going. Now, St. Mark's Coffee House in the morning, depends on who's opening, but generally it's either Gino, who's been working there 15 years, or Michael has been working there 20 years. Gino almost always, if you go in there at 6:30, it's really quiet. And Tina, one of the owners, is usually in the kitchen baking stuff. And then he has NPR playing. And I love going in there first thing in the morning. However, Starbucks at 5 a.m. has some really upbeat music, which is fine. But when I'm trying to do any kind of talking like this traffic's in the background, it gets a little loud. So here's the bottom line. This new Kia and my last Kia, and also my first car, my 2017 Prius Touring, all three cars during the 3 years I drove for Lyft, all were giving me the ability to record videos inside the car and play like Alexa, play YouTube through my speakers and videotape it in my cars, my Prius Touring, the car I just turned in, my 2019 black Kia electric car, and my current new car, which I just took possession of. All are awesome places for me to park anywhere. City Park, Wash Park. I was down at another park near downtown in my loft and do work anytime. Sloan Lake, anywhere. So when I lost my apartment, I'm now going down this tunnel, this construction tunnel, and on the other side is a place called the Gaylord House, 1741 Gaylord. Now, way back in 1990, when I moved here to Colorado, when I say moved, it was really my Cadillac, my massage table. That was pretty much it. The first year I rented a junior one-bedroom studio apartment, I literally slept on my massage table. And that was the only piece of furniture in my whole place. I had a fireplace, a washer and dryer. The only thing in my apartment was my folded down massage table.
Just so you know, I've been there too, and I'm going to share that with you a bit later on. I've been there too. I know what that feels like. And by the way, I still get that happening to me right now. So it's not that that feeling's gone away. That feeling has become normal, and the response has become trained. So you've normalized the experience of coming across uncomfortable situations, and your response is trained. So anyway, this person comes across this river, and the Buddha says that this person realizes that they dip their toe in, they know they're going to get pushed across. So they push out a little piece of wood that they find almost Titanic-like, right? Like that door that Kate Winslet just about fits on, and Leonardo DiCaprio should be able to fit on it, but he doesn't, and we don't understand why. And so they push out this little door, and all of a sudden that gets pushed away by the water. They realize they need to build something stronger. So the person lays down bamboo and puts 2 lines of it to craft a raft. They tie rope onto the sides. They get on top this time. they even build an oar and they start paddling out. They first start slowly just to test, and then they go faster and faster and faster and faster, and they use all their might and all their energy, and they get to the other side. They breathe a sigh of relief because they reach the other side, and then they say to themselves, this raft changed my life. Without this raft, I could not have done this. It wouldn't have been possible. So they decide to strap their raft on their back and say, I'm never letting go of this raft because this raft saved my life. I wouldn't be the same person without this. They continue to walk on. The Buddha says now they reach a new challenge. This time the challenge is not a fast-flowing river. It's a tall wooded forest with trees dotted at every step. And as they try to walk through with this big raft on their back, the raft keeps knocking against the trees, and they try and maneuver it and push through and try and squeeze through, but the raft gets chipped and knocked and breaks, and then they come to an important realization. The Buddha says that they realize, this person realizes that they have two choices. They can either let go of the raft and walk through freely, or they can hold on to the raft and struggle to get through. Why am I telling you this story? Because this is the pivot. We have habits, we have mindsets, we have ideas that have served us up until this point in time. But at a point in time, we have to relearn, unlearn, reestablish our ideas, mindsets, attitudes, so that we can walk through the next challenge. We know we can build a raft if we need it. We know we've got those habits in our toolkit if we need them. But we have to realize that sometimes the thing that's stopping us from moving to the next stage is that we're holding on so tightly to this one. If you're holding on to something that's sharp, it will cut you. And we're holding on so tightly, we're gripping on so tightly to this rope, but we're trying to move forward. It doesn't make sense. We're blocked by our own obsession, addiction, comfort. I want you all to reflect on what is your raft? What is your raft right now? What is that thing that is keeping you tied? And by the way, it's not tying you, you are tied to it. It's not blocking you, you're holding it. It's not holding or controlling you, you are holding and controlling it because you don't want to let it go. And I know it's hard. I know it's tough to let it go. I've had to do many pivots in my life, and often when people pivot, other people find it really uncomfortable. How many of you know that even when you talk about pivoting, the people around you start getting scared and start reflecting their insecurities onto you? How many of you have experienced that? Raise both your hands if you've experienced that, where people project their own insecurity onto you when you're trying to pivot. So my life has been full of pivots. I pivoted from being a business student to being a monk. I pivoted from being a monk to going back into the digital strategy world and social media world. I pivoted from that to going and sharing my videos and building my podcast and writing a book. And today, having a coach certification school, helping people become leaders and build their own amazing businesses. And by the way, every time I've taken each and every one of those steps, I've changed, I've moved and grown. And I feel like the most complete, evolved person that I've ever been in myself today. But it's uncomfortable for people to accept that you can bring all of those parts to yourself. I love thinking like a monk, but I love living like an entrepreneur. I love thinking like a strategist, but I love building teams and communities. I love teaching like a guide, but I also love the challenge of creating content that really changes people's minds. I love all of it. I don't want to be one of those things. I want to be all of them.
The photos and stuff was still there, and I could remake it again. You understand what I'm saying? I wanted to develop the confidence that I can make videos, and I can make one right now, and I can make a second one that's not exactly like the one I just made, with a little variation, and to make another one. So and obviously it's not about how many we're making or how many I'm making. It's also about, you know, bringing value, entertainment, coaching, and inspiration, and telling a story. So now what I'm starting to do, the Empower side, you know, the Empower side. In fact, by the way, side comment, I just sent David Wood some of my videos. Yeah, I sent him. I said, I don't know if he's going to respond. He's kind of still, you know, whole backstory and stuff. But I sent him a video and said, hey, Dave, I just want to know that I'm thinking about you, had a huge impact on my life. And probably you've influenced my making this video a channel because, you know, of our conversation that I had with you. I still remember that to this day. Just wanted to touch base with you. So I'm going to wait and see if he responds. Because who knows, it might be an interesting Zoom call to have a Zoom call with David Wood, you know, find out what he's doing now.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I've seen him on Facebook. He goes live every now and again. If you go onto his Facebook wall, he's done a couple live videos recently. So yeah, he seems like he's doing well. And yeah, he was a total life-changing, you know, connection for both of us, for not only you and I, Doug, but for Michelle and I as well. You know, unbelievable connections built through that business and just through the products alone. You know, it is really about mindset, no matter what you want to do. And that's really another part of the channel as well, is having that mindset, no matter what it is. You know, whether you got to drive for the next 10 hours, whether you know, got to do this test or that test or whatever the heck it may be for whatever you're doing, you know, how do you handle that with your mindset? And that's what I think has helped us all here, you know, Doug, me, Michelle, and others who are involved in that community be who we are today. And I don't think that we would be doing this if we weren't part of that company, Empower Network. So yeah, that's definitely part of the channel. You know, it's part of your life, part of your story. And plus you can teach things that you learned through that. So you've got, you know, so much value.
I'm sorry for, what I'm saying is, I guess the thing, the thing about Dave that just amazes me is, and I can relate to his story, the fact that he's a normal guy that was literally in his van down to his last.
What Amy and I do, we changed our format. We started doing these video calls live from her home or the temple in Tokyo. We did start out where actually it was in my Mercantile Square loft, and I projected her up on my 65-inch TV. And then when I was more or less forced to leave my apartment after being there 2 years, 4 months, even at the 50% discount level, I ended up spending about $30,000 in rent. And that turned out to be a major mistake I can't get back. Second, after Victoria was a manager for quite some time, I didn't have any troubles until I started running into trouble paying my rent. And what I did was, this was about a year ago, I made a critical mistake. At the time, it seemed like the best thing to do because I did it to save my apartment. And in the end, I would lose my apartment. What is it? When I came to Colorado 3 years ago, I came with my 2017 white Toyota hybrid. I owned it. I bought it and financed it in San Diego specifically, drove it to Arizona to get it registered. And at that point, it was the spring of 2022, my parents had decided, after I had called the Arizona house home for 10 years, but 4 days out of the month, my parents bought 4 houses. Mine, one they called their primary home for years, 2, my dad's art studio down the street. And they did that all when they still had their Big Bear City home, the fourth one that they built and lived in 30 years. Now this is all in the backdrop and a part of, under the umbrella of Driving to Tokyo. Now here's what I've recommended to my riders. When you come to my channel and you watch my videos, take it in bite-sized pieces. Number two, I would take notes, because it's already been proven when you go to a seminar or you're in a class, if you take notes, you're gonna see things visually and retain the information. See, I don't need to do that because it's my life. Plus, I have 5,000 videos on here, and I make 4 one-hour film collage documentaries, and been doing that for, gosh, a long time now. So here's what I'm doing now. I'm taking a break. I worked 2 hours, made approximately almost $40. I still have about 10 more hours that I can work between now and 5 a.m. to have the revenue for this day, the first day where I had $380, well, due on my car. I went by the Express Drive office to confirm that I didn't have to do a service, and they confirmed with me again, I'm hoping this works out, that I'm supposed to get a newer, upgraded electric car this week or next and turn this in and get it the same day. That is very critical. Why? Because I've been with Lyft, although I'm not 100% happy with what they've been doing recently. Nevertheless, I've done almost 5,000 rides. Now there is an option, and I'm already cleared and registered to go to Hoover. Now the way that works, that's the advantage with that is, right now, when my weeks start, I owe $380, but I don't have to put anything on my charge card. And I have to only do 20 rides to hold on to this car. Now, if I only do 20 rides, just whatever the revenue is for the 20 rides goes against the $380. In other words, let's say it adds up to $200. That means I'd only owe $180, and it would not be a problem as long as I have a Visa card, preferably my Bank of America card, with at least enough on my card to cover the balance. Now here's the bottom line. I haven't done it yet, but to get myself out of this jam in the next 4 months, June, July, August, September, obviously I have to keep the car. I can't lose the car. But number two, preferably I have to clear out the balance by Wednesday. And fourth, I need to not use my Bank of America. I gotta not use my $835 monthly check for any bills, including my phone, anything. Why? That'll accumulate in my checking account every month. 4 months, it would be about $3,000, and a year it'd be about $12,000. That should help me get on the other side of this mess. It's starting to cloud up a little bit. It seems like the weather really has been kind of weird lately. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. This is the June 2nd edition, parked in front of Starbucks, drinking iced coffee and water, just about maybe an hour and a half from my call with Amy. We'll be coming back to you after this message.